Won't you give me your love? Give me your love.
Fast and Furious Hobbs Shaw is a spin-off to the Fast and Furious franchise that revolves on Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw, and this film is directed by David Leitch. The film tells the story of a supervillain who's planning to take over the world, where he's considered supervillain and plans to use a virus that plans on wiping out the universe. But since the virus is on the hands of an MI6 rogue agent, Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw must now work together to save that M16 agent, which happens to be Deckard Shaw's sister, and now they must save the world from the evil supervillain. Now when it comes to a Fast and Furious film, of course, the Fast and Furious film has been ongoing since this decade from beginning to end, but when it comes to a spin-off, this movie completely changes the franchise. The franchise is already big and they've already made a great success out of it, but what changes the game, what completely changes the game, is when they consider of making a spin-off that focuses on Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw. And this is not the first time that any trilogy has a spin-off. There are some trilogies that already has its own spin-off. To name a few, here are some. Harry Potter 1, Harry Potter 2, Harry Potter 3, Harry Potter 4, Harry Potter 5, Harry Potter 6, Harry Potter 7, split into 2 parts. Now let's do a prequel of it and make a series out of it. The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, The Return of the King. Good, now let's do The Hobbit. Transformers 1, Transformers 2, Transformers 3, Transformers 4, Transformers 5. Wait, I think the series failed. So let's do a spin-off, and if it works, we'll make a reboot out of it. A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Wait, Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3. Hey, Disney just bought us. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker. Wait, before that, let's not forget to do a spin-off. And it just keeps going. But Fast and Furious Hobbs Shaw is completely different. The spin-off revolves on Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw, which means we don't get the Toro family, but this time we get Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw, which means now we get to see them trying to get along with each other to battle against one evil villain. However, this villain is surprising to me. This Fast and Furious film is unlike any other Fast and Furious film because this one is completely great. Even if it wasn't a Fast and Furious film, this might be still the most enjoyable that I've enjoyed. Usually in terms of making a Fast and Furious film, you get formula. First, you get good ladies, you get cool cars, you get a complicated situation, you get good characters, and then you get great music. There you have it, a new Fast and Furious film. But this one changes the formula. This one completely changes the formula. From turning into street races, and now it turns into more of a Mission Impossible action type, which is what makes the film different. And that's what I liked about this film. Hobbs and Shaw completely changes the formula, and that's what I like about this film. From being what the movie is supposed to be, now instead you get a new action, because not only that the movie just evolves, but this time the universe also evolves. So it makes sense why it's time that, hey, instead of doing street racing, I thought it's time that we take the Fast and Furious film to another hit. The action are still phenomenal in this film. David Leitch is a perfect choice for the director, even if it's a Fast and Furious film or a spin-off, especially Hobbs and Shaw, he still works great. The violence in this film that he delivered in this movie is brutal and very painful, which is what makes him a good director, which is what makes him a good choice for this film. And he's not afraid to show the violence in this film. He's capable of showing that very dang brutal violence to our Fast and Furious audience. And that's what makes this film great. Whenever it comes to Fast and Furious films, when it comes to their action, you care about the action, especially in any Fast and Furious film, you care about the action. Just make a simple plot and then there you have it, continue the action. And that's what makes the Fast and Furious film great. They still continue with the action, they still have logical actions, but instead, they also cared a little bit about the plot, so they know what they're doing with those actions that they're doing. The editing I thought was great. There was a sequence where you get to see Hobbs and Shaw. They're living their daily life from 2 point of views, which I thought was great to see in this film. There's also a scene where someone, if he pulls the engine and then suddenly it goes to the sequence where it goes to the engine, starts pumping. And also same goes for other things as well. But we don't really get to see that much, and I thought it would be cool if we get to see more. But hey, maybe a few would be fine. Tyler Bates returns once again as the score, but what takes over his role was basically the hip-hop music that has been taking over in every Fast and Furious film. But it's fine because it's a Fast and Furious spirit. It's a tradition that has been happening in every Fast and Furious film. And I appreciate having those music, having those loud banging hip-hop music to be heard on the big screen. And no one will have a problem with that, especially with Fast and Furious films. Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw, they're trying to get along with each other. They show a great performance, especially a great chemistry when it comes to working together. Usually there are some films where some people couldn't get along with each other, but Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw showing that is basically the funniest part of the film. And that's what makes the spin-off exist. Their chemistry and their beef-off is basically the funniest part of the film, and it's basically the best part of any film than just the action. And what embraces them to be together and what embraces that movie to exist. Vanessa Kirby, I thought she did great in the film. It's good to have her in the new franchise franchise, especially with Mission Impossible, and now having her in this film is phenomenal. She did an excellent job. I really appreciate seeing her on the big screen. I enjoyed her as much as Mission Impossible. Idris Elba as a villain is very menacing. He's very phenomenal as a villain. He's the super villain. He's this black Superman, and I thought he's also the black Iron Man, if I can say, because there's a time where he had to upgrade himself, and whenever in some action scenes you get to see him going through some action mode, and I thought that was like the wackiest part, but yet the epic part of the film. There are also some characters which I thought I did not expect them to make an appearance, but instead of a cameo, they're like, hey, let's expand their 3-minute cameo and then make them an important character. And now that the character has become a part of the universe, it's really surprising to see them on the big screen. So I really appreciate that, and you might want to watch this film to find out yourself who these characters I'm talking about. Overall, Hobbs Shaw is a great film. It's a great spin-off, if not the best Fast and Furious film, but yet the best Fast and Furious spin-off. There's a lot of great actions, there's a lot of great score, there's a lot of great editing, the characters are great in this film, everything is completely great. Unlike the previous Fast and Furious film, I guess this one evolves a lot, and this one completely changes the formula, and it's basically the best Fast and Furious ever to exist. I'm gonna say Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw is a spin-off that delivers the Fast and Furious spirit with great action. Overall, this Fast and Furious film is great. I had a great time watching this film, although my friend is supposed to be here with me when I'm watching this film. But seeing this film was very phenomenal. I was able to see it in Dolby Atmos and Dolby Cinema, and it's the best way to see this film, and I like the sound. The action was completely great. I really enjoyed this film. So yeah, that was my review on Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw. If you see what you think of the movie, let me know in the comments below. And it's already my first day of school, so I'm already in school right now. I'm a 12th grader. Maybe by this August, I'm going to try my best to get the Angry Birds movie too. And there's going to be some videos that we're going to talk about, especially 5 years of me in this YouTube channel. But yeah, that was my review on Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw. Here's the outro. That is all for this video. If you do enjoy this video, give it a like. That would be very helpful. And in the description, you'll find the link so you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Google+. I appreciate you guys for watching this, and I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.